Well, Mile High City, that was an embarrassment. The Nuggets have wrapped up game 7 against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And to be honest with you, I can't say I'm surprised that it ended in blowout fashion, 125-93 at the mercy of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Guys, this was a matchup that not a lot of people in the NBA had going to 7 games. Now, I do want to preface by saying my bad about the background. I am traveling. I caught as much of the game as I could on the phone. I'm here in a Westin in Tampa Bay, Florida. So it's beautiful outside. We can't get mad at it. But here's the thing, man. This was a very undermanned, shorthanded Nuggets team. Right? Let's just face the facts of it. The fact that they forced the series to 7 is in a way surprising. But the fact that it got to 7, on the flip side of, the Nuggets should have probably won the series is also very surprising. Realistically, when you look back, this series was lost in both Game 4 and in Game 5 when the Nuggets failed to close the Oklahoma City Thunder out in both games, forced them to put all the pressure on Game 6. OKC kind of wrapped it in and said, let's put all of our chips in the basket in Game 7 where they ended up blowing us out. But also when you look at it, this also could have been a game where the Nuggets got a series where the Nuggets got swept. It was a very confusing time, let's just, to say the least, for this entire series, because I felt like Oklahoma on paper and both just visually watching was a much better team than Nuggets were. But because the Nuggets have the greatest basketball player on the planet in Nikola Jokic, he was able to mask a lot of the deficiencies in this team. But we were by no means deep enough. The fact that we got it to the second round and we got as deep into the second round as possible is quite miraculous when you look at it and you think about it. Add in the fact that MPJ, who's an awful player in general, was injured. Aaron Gordon pulled his hamstring last game, gutted it out as much as he could in this game. All of the chips were stacked against us, man. Let's face it. So the season comes to an end. It's tough. It sucks as Nuggets fans. But I'm a lot more optimistic about the future than many. I think once you get a GM that has a half of a brain in here, and then you make the decision on the coach, whether it's Adelman or somebody else, we'll have maybe a separate dedicated video to David Adelman and if he should be retained separately. You can really turn this thing around quickly and you could be an immediate contender. I mean, let's face it, we were kind of already a contender with the roster as it's currently constructed. I mean, we were 1 win away from going to the Western Conference Finals. And at that point, nobody really knows what we can get to. So we're a few pieces. The main priority, I would say, for this new GM is how are you going to get rid of not just MPJ, but the MPJ contract, right? If that means you have to trade him along with a future first or a couple of future first round picks just to get that money off the books, I'm all for that. That's what you do. You utilize the money that frees up to be able to get other players, role guys that fit exactly the type of system that you want to run. You know that any player that you bring in is going to get a significant boost because of the Nikola Jokic effect. You also got to figure something out with this training staff and the strength and conditioning program. We saw it as Denver fans. We saw it with the Broncos. We saw the difference that it can do in a much more physical sport in football. If you get the right nutritionists, if you get the right program in place, and you use data to be able to get these guys, limit their reps and be able to understand what you need to do, you can have them in, play in better shape, play better, play faster, and avoid being injured and avoid being tired late in the fourth quarter. This has been something that's been a constant for the last couple of years with the Denver Nuggets. Now, obviously, when you're playing your main players 42 plus minutes every single night, that is bound to happen, right? So you do have to have a good deep bench to be able to avoid that. But there's still got to be something to give, guys. So many soft tissue injuries. I mean, you saw the last month of the season, everybody was out. Jokic was battling some stuff. MPJ ends up getting injured. Jamal Murray, with the knee and the hamstring stuff. AG with the calf at first and then the hamstring later. And then, knee injuries for Russell Westbrook. It was a mess, and it's been a mess for a long time. And so we need to get these guys a full off season to get rest, get right, but also get into legitimate shape. That's the main thing that I want to see from this team. And I think they're going to be in good position to do so. But I'm excited to see who they bring in as a GM. I think if you look at the season as a whole, right, at the beginning of the year, you would say, yes, this Nuggets team certainly underachieved, right? We made it to the second round again, and we lost in game 7 again, right? I think people had higher expectations than that. But you see what happened the last month of the season, how the team was reeling, team was disconnected. They fired their head coach with 3 games left in the regular season. It was kind of a miracle that they got to where they were. Let's face it. And so annoying, tough season, but they'll start over again next year, man. As long as you got Nikola Jokic on your team, you're always going to have a chance to be a contender. You just have to be able to surround them with legitimate players. I mean, for the love of God, can we get this guy a freaking all-star? He's never played with another NBA all-star in his entire career. It is wild how that has failed to be the case. Inexcusable in every single sense of the word. So I don't want to make this too long of a vid, guys, because like I said, I am traveling. I don't got all my stuff. I brought my mic and I brought my camera, but I forgot the cords that connected to my laptop. So that's a little bit embarrassing. But let's do a State of the Union on the Nuggets, right? I know everybody's going to be emotional. This team sucks. This team needs to rebuild. This team needs to revamp a lot of the roster. No doubt about that. You can't deny it. But in the NBA, things can change really quickly, man. Especially when all you really need is some depth fill-in guys. I haven't done enough digging into who's available this upcoming season, blah blah blah. But the main thing is we need to free up cap space. We need to be able to get MPJ off the books, no matter what it takes, because that is going to ultimately offer us the main flexibility that we need. If he's off the books, then we can build it out the right way. Even if he wasn't an expensive player, or even if he wasn't a max contract guy, which he is, unfortunately, he adds no benefit to this team. His role is to be a 3-point shooter. That being the case, he's not really that good at it. And also, he doesn't defend, he doesn't rebound, he doesn't assist. If you count how many dribbles Michael Porter Jr. took in this entire series, it's probably less than the amount of turnovers that he has or the amount of buckets that he's allowed when he was guarding somebody one-on-one. It is absolutely pathetic. And somebody that has that role, it's an important role, don't get it twisted, does not get anywhere near a max contract like he's getting. So the priority is to get rid of the player and the contract mainly, more than anything. I hate talking like that about players because I don't want it. It's not personal. Like, I wish him all the success and all the best in his personal life. I know he's gone through a lot of things, but he's not a good basketball player. He's just not. And then given how much we're paying him, all he's doing is killing the team in 10 different ways. It is an abomination. So you got to get that figured out first. And then you move forward. And you build out the bench. But yeah, I mean, step number 1 is get a GM hired, make a decision on the head coach, whether it's David Adelman or not. I think right now my initial impression is that I would be totally fine with David Adelman continuing. If there's other better options, fine. I definitely do not want to see, a veteran retread coach that's just kind of been blah throughout his entire career. I definitely don't want to see that. I'd rather give the reins to David Adelman and give him a full offseason, get his staff, get his plan in place. And, you're not changing up too much, but he's going to get a good feel for these players. So I'd rather do that than some, random head coach like the guy that won the finals or the championship with the Bucks a few years ago and that ended up getting fired like Malone did. I don't think it's going to be, he's not going to add much more depth. But we're going to see. We're going to see who they end up ultimately bringing. And then once you get the GM in place and you get the head coach in place, I think you're able to start getting more clarity on the vision for this team. So we'll see. Congrats to the Thundermen. Hell of a team. Love the way they've built it. A lot of respect for that organization just coming to terms that they need to attack the full rebuild and do it all the right way. And they certainly did that. Reminds me a lot of the Nuggets when we had won it a couple years back. So kudos to them. In a way, I hope them and Minnesota could both lose the next series, but I also kind of want to see, Shea win a championship or have an opportunity to, or definitely Anthony Edwards have the opportunity to do that as well. 2 players that I really like, that I dig a lot. So we'll see. We'll see how it works out with them, man. Anyways, guys, let me know below in the comments, what are the offseason priorities for your Denver Nuggets? We got some great Denver Broncos sports content that I'm really, really excited about coming in the coming days once I get back to the crib and settled in. So stay tuned for that. Otherwise, till the next video, y'all take it easy, man. Peace.